McDavid. Moves in, McDavid goes upstairs! What a goal!
Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Etanyos here. Welcome to episode number 11 of this Edmonton Oilers Franchise Mode. Currently in a franchise frenzy, the Oilers are holding on to three different franchise players here in McDavid, Draisaitl, and Chubasov. Unfortunately, this offseason is going to prove to be difficult as multiple players are on expiring deals, and we are going to have to make some trades to make this work. So guys like Chubasov, he's coming off of his last year on his rookie deal. He's probably been our most valuable player over the last 3 seasons, but McDavid and Draisaitl obviously are going to keep getting paid pretty well here. There's a lot of players that deserve to get paid, but might not necessarily. A guy like Rudolph Schutz is also on his last year. So we got some issues when it comes to the contract situations, but we're going to deal with them. First off, though, we have to get into the draft. If you missed last episode, go back and check it out. There should be a card somewhere around the top corner here that leads you to a playlist for this Oilers series so far. Looking into the draft class, guys, we do not possess a first-round pick at all this year, but that's not really worrying me at all. I have my eye on a couple different players here that I think could prove to be very good for us still. A guy like Boris Yaskins here, he's only got a 2-year ETA, and he's a top 6 power forward, looks really good. Then the next guy that I also have been keeping a close eye on here is this Curtis Bowman. Potentially an elite goalie with a 1-year ETA at the 64th pick. Those are really good players that we could still look to draft even though we don't own a first-round pick. So as you can see there, the Oilers win the Cup. The San Diego Gulls win the Calder Cup there. And let's see who is landing what in the lottery here. So San Jose moves up 7 picks to win the lottery. Oh my gosh. Washington and Detroit all just sewer the Golden Knights, the Kings, and the Devils. Holy, I would be quite mad. Jeez, that is a messy lottery for sure. Do any teams? Minnesota's got 2 late lottery picks there. Besides that, a lot of teams are kind of just on their own here. They don't really have more than 1 pick by the looks of it. So, yeah, crazy draft lottery for sure there. And we pass our goals there. I'm not even going to look at the draft class because I've already been looking through it. As far as retired players go, Jumbo Joe finally retires. He was 83 rated still. Jenny Malkin retires at a 90 overall. Holy, that's got to hurt for Pittsburgh. Corey Perry retires. Thomas Vanek, David Krejci, Jeff Carter, Ryan Suter, Dustin Byfuglien, Bobby Ryan. Holy, those are some big names, man, for sure. Like, jeez. Okay, as far as goalies go, Pekka Rinne, Corey Crawford, Devin Dubnyk, Jaro Halak, Jimmy Howard there, Corey Schneider. He did not have a lot of wins. Jeez. I thought he had more wins than that. But anyways, that's everyone who's retiring. I'd say Jumbo Joe's definitely the most, like the best player there out of that group still, but Malkin's really good as well. Joe Thornton becomes a coach for Buffalo, and multiple coaches retire here. Doesn't look like we lost anybody by the looks of it. All right, that's good. We're going to skip the draft interviews and edit the trade blocks. So this is where things become a little more interesting. We're going to put Koskinen up on the block, see if anybody's interested in him. We got a 98 rated Yuri Chubasov at just 21 years old. Oh my gosh, we're going to dish out some serious money on this guy here right away. Rudolph Schutz drops off 2 ratings somehow. Don't ask me how, but he does. Besides that, who else is kind of working towards expiring deals? Doesn't look like a lot of guys. Oh, Evan Bouchard as well. Yikes, we are kind of screwed here as far as money goes. Yeah, we're going to have to move guys that I don't necessarily want to, but we are going to have to move them. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, unfortunately, is probably done with the team here. I don't think we really have a lot of other options to hand him. Jeez, yeah, we are not in a good spot right now, so I'm not entirely sure what to do here. By the looks of it, yeah, we got like second round picks and back in there, but we're just going to leave Koskinen on the block for now. And we are going to get into the draft here. I want to check out where our picks are landing. So if we go to offer trade, where I want pick number 41 and 62, I believe, are the numbers. So we have pick 62 there, but pick 41 we will have to go out and probably trade for. I'm thinking a guy like Benson or Puljujarvi could potentially be on the move here. I would say Puljujarvi's probably the guy that's going to get moved. So let's go find the team that's right around pick number 40 or 41 and make a deal here. All right, so by the looks of it, the Blue Jackets have the 40th pick. That's really all they have. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, let's just go Puljujarvi straight up for the 40th. I think that's honestly a decent trade. And we are going to sim all the way over to pick 40 now. Oh my gosh, who is this guy? Christopher Henry, 71 rated for the Canadiens. That is nice. Medium elite there in Lindholm going to the Florida Panthers. Boris Yaskin went early. 34th overall. He was listed to go 40th. Oh man, you got to be kidding me. That is not good. Wow. Thanks, NHL. Like, just throw him way out of order there. Oh man, that one stings. Not impressed with that. Not at all. Jeez. Okay, so that, yeah, that's just annoying. Unfortunately, we are going to have to try and make a pick here on a player that we really don't have scouted that well instead. So I don't even know who to go for now because Boris Yaskins was my kind of like number one guy there that I was targeting. So, okay. I guess we go with Keeping here. Tiny Keeping, that's his name. And, oh, medium 4. That's not terrible, but he is only 63 rated. Okay, I swear to God, if this 62nd pick does not land me the goalie that I wanted, come on. Wait, did he get picked? Actually, I don't know if he did or not. But those are some good picks right before us. Jeez, man. Actually, maybe not. I don't think he did get picked, but Stamkos and Brule. Like, Alexander Brule there is just insane. 74 overall? Like, what? And yeah, Bowman's the guy I'm looking into here. So, let's see how he turns out. Curtis Bowman, he should be good. It said 1 year ETA on him. And yeah, he's a 74 rated starter as well. So that's back-to-back 74 rated starters. Alexander Brule and Curtis Bowman. That's insane. Jeez. Okay, anybody else with some crazy potentials in here? Let's check it out. Nobody insane. There's like a medium top 4 or 2 in there, but that second round was honestly stacked. Like, that's crazy. Okay. What's Bobrovsky's ETA? It says 3. Okay, so maybe we take Andre Bobrovsky there. Maybe we take Jonas Montgomery. Probably not. Anybody else? I didn't have a lot of guys pinned throughout here. So, yeah, I think we're going to go with Bobrovsky here. And just go from there. So what's his name? Andre Bobrovsky. So how does he turn out? 6'2" winger. And we have to always go back because we won the cup. And low top 6 forward. Okay, 2-way forward. That's not awful, but it's not great either. So, you know, that's just normally kind of how picks go, is that we're just off from what we were actually looking to kind of land. So this draft is not strong in the later rounds, and unfortunately that's where we have all our picks. Oh man. Okay, so maybe we take a risk on Phaneuf here. I don't have a lot of other options really. You try to end up with another elite goalie, but that's hard to do, especially when you don't have any scouting on him. Joey Barch is a possibility. I think we're going with Phaneuf here, just because he's further up, and then it makes sense on the draft board. So yeah, let's try him. Mario Phaneuf. And was he good or was he not? And he was not. Low top 6 defensive defenseman. Yikes. Okay, so we are going to sim to the end of round 5 now. Anybody good in round 5? It doesn't look like it, man. This is like, okay, there's one low top 6 there, or medium top 6 in Tom's. And that was about it. There's nothing in these later rounds, which stinks because, you know, we're trying to land something here. And does Barch turn out? Most likely not. It was 1 bar there on him. Yeah, another low top 6 defender. Yikes. Okay. Oh, we missed a low elite in Renkel there. And besides that, not much yet again. These rounds are actually awful. Like, usually there's way better picks throughout here, but not this draft. This draft's a bit anticlimactic, to be honest. So we're gonna take a risk on Francois Maisonneuve. He's got a 2-year ETA, so I'm hoping he's actually good. But you know, we'll see. We'll see how he turns out. That 2-year ETA is probably the best out of, yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. There's our 1 draft steal. 186th overall, Francois Maisonneuve. Holy, 68 overall. Can skate, can shoot. It's got the puck set. He's got everything, man. For a 6th round pick, I am seriously happy with how he turned out. And, well, to be honest, he was the only pick out of that entire round. So we definitely went with the right decision there. Besides that, this guy here, Thurian, I don't know how you say it. Started there for Nashville. That's about it, dude. So that's gonna wrap up the draft here for the most part. We're gonna have 1 more pick, and well, we could try to make it count. We could see who's even available. But Maisonneuve was for sure the best pick there out of like those last 4 or 5 rounds. And maybe we take a risk here on this René Laflamme. Or Laflame, I don't know. It's Laflamme, I think. So yeah, we're going to take a risk on him. Probably not going to be elite, but yeah, no, he was a bottom 6. But for sure, Bowman and Maisonneuve were the 2 steals out of that draft. Keeping's not bad as well. But the other guys in between, like Bobrovsky, Phaneuf, Barch, and even like Laflamme, those guys were not strong. So we are moving on now to the re-sign phase, and this is where things get scary, is because we're not going to be able to re-sign everybody most likely. And a lot of trades there happening right after the draft. Oh boy, okay, here we go. So we got to re-sign some coaches here. A bunch of them are kind of expiring, I guess, so we'll offer them all those deals. You know, I'm not really worried about our coaching staff. I'm sure they want to return after all the winning that our team has experienced over the last couple of years. So, yeah, we should be good here. I don't see any issues really occurring here. Just got some, you know, re-signing to do. That's pretty much it. So yeah, we got 3 scouts here to re-sign. Nice and easy. And that should be everything. So yeah, Yuri Chubasov, Carter Hart, both hitting RFAs. They are going to want a lot of money. So, yikes. Ready? I'm predicting 14 million here on Chubasov. Oh no. Okay, that's way better than I expected. That's way better. Him and McDavid getting paid the same amount of money is huge, and Heiskanen is honestly the biggest steal of a contract out of all of our players here. 7.5 for Bouchard's a lot. So I think the guy that's kind of getting the short end of the stick here is probably going to be RNH. As much as I hate to say it, I think he's going to be the guy that kind of is the odd man out here. We have other guys like Larson and Clefbaum who are going to want way too much money. So, yeah, this is tough for sure, because it's now just picking and choosing players, like who stays, who goes, essentially. So I do want to try to keep our defensive core together as best as possible, because they're the main reason why we're winning with this team so much. But yeah, we got options here. Like, as you can see, Virtanen, Mason Nueve. There's still a lot of players that we can sign and get into this team sooner or later. And as far as the goalies go, we cannot forget. Oh, how did Carter Hart go down that much, man? I mean, it's good because then we don't have to pay him so much. But at the same time, like, why? Why has he dropped off like that? That sucks. So definitely going to sign. Actually, let's go and just sign all the rookies first. So it would be unsigned players. All the guys that I want to sign. Toskala, unfortunately, is not turning out anytime soon. Keeping, I'm going to let him sit for a year because, you know, we want him to grow properly. But guys like Virtanen's getting a contract. Guys like Mason Nueve is getting a contract. And who else do we have in here? I guess we could sign Eriksson. He doesn't look too bad. And then, yeah, besides that, everybody else is just going to sit. No unsigned centers. And, all right, that's all those guys. Now going over to UFAs, so players that we have to offer contracts to. I think this is mainly going to be guys like Clefbaum, and I would love to sign RNH, but at $8.5 million a year, he's just not worth it, unfortunately. It sucks, but it's just not going to work out. So we're going to go for Clefbaum here. And if we can get him down to a $5 million contract, that would be really good. That's for just 2 years, so I think that'll be an awesome deal there. Let's see. The cheapest Larson's willing to go for is 4.8. We'll offer him 4.9 for 3 years, and that should be fine. As far as a guy like Cooper Marody goes, he's a crucial part of our team, but he's also $3 million a year. Oh boy. Okay. Oh wow. Okay, that's a really good deal. Let's offer him $1 million a year for Nygaard. That's very cheap. As far as a guy like Cassian goes, he wants 1.5, but that's pennies compared to what some of these other guys are requesting. We'll sign Yurcho. We'll sign Oosterley. We'll sign a bunch of these guys just to, you know, kind of keep the depth in the system here. Keep the Condors growing as a team and, you know, hopefully winning a lot. But there is depth in this system for sure. Don't get me wrong there. Like, our team has got some options. All these guys want contract offers, so why not? Jakimov is actually decent now. When did we draft him? 4th round grinder a while ago. Okay. And he's a UFA, I guess, so. I will offer Matt the deal too. And I don't think these last 2 guys are getting deals. They're just too low rated for... Actually, Punets we could offer entry level too. Alright, so that's the UFAs. Now we go over to the RFAs, which is where it's very scary because, I mean, yes, we can qualify a bunch of these guys, but at the same time, I don't think we can offer all of them contracts. Like, that's the problem. So we'll offer 1 year for Samorukov. Same thing here for Hebig. And even like Ryan McLeod. We'll offer all those guys deals just to keep the depth in the system. And we're not going to sign these two guys. We're just going to let them walk. And now this is the big chunk of money here that's going to get spent. So we'll do our goalies first. No, my friend, you are getting at least $1 million for the next 2 years. And then Carter Hart, he wants $6 million. Okay. Okay. 6 for 2. Okay, that's not bad. As far as defense goes, Bouchard's going to be our big money here. $7.5 million. I think we go and sign all these smaller pieces. Yeah, like Ethan Bear's only $2 million for the next 3 years. That's very solid. As far as right wingers go, nobody. Then we got these two guys. Benson wants what? $3 million. Okay, that's not bad. What about Schutz? Schutz wants almost 6. And then obviously Chubasov's going to be the big deal here. So we're just going to let this sit for a second. I'm going to advance a day, see how much cap space we have left, because I'm not that quick with math. So we're just going to see. They're not interested? Okay, that didn't make sense. Anyways, Larson signs, Cassian does not sign. Clefbaum does, Granlund does, Sheahan does, Nygaard does, Bear does, Hart does, Oosterley does, Yurcho does not. Okay, Colby Cave does, Hebig does, Mantha does not. Stuart Skinner does, McLeod does, Samorukov does, Cam Bordella does, and then just the rookie contracts there. All right, looks somewhat decent. By the looks of it, we got to go offer our coaching staff more money. It's just the AHL, I guess. But he wants more money here, so we'll offer him like that. And all of these guys were, somewhat complaining about their money, so I'll offer them a little bit more. They're more talking about the system, and I don't understand exactly why, because our team's still good. But okay, we'll just we'll work with it. We'll get things done. So we still have $24 million in cap space. I don't think that's going to be quite enough to sign everybody here. It's going to be close, but yeah, let's see. Okay, so if we go, how many different players do we have to sign still? Okay, we've got Marody wants $3 million, and then Benson also wants $3 million, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so those two guys alone are $6 million. Schutz is almost another 6 by himself. Yeah, like the cheapest we could get him is 5.5, so he's gonna be 6. So we're already up to 12 million just with those 3 guys. And then we still have Bouchard, and yeah, so that's where we have the problems, is that we're not going to be able to re-sign everybody. Nuge is a guaranteed. Unfortunate, like we're going to have to trade him most likely, or not trade him, but we're going to have to move him because he is just too expensive. So yeah, that is unfortunate that, we're breaking up the core kind of, but not really. Like, yeah. Okay, so I think we're going to go for let's go 4 years at 11 million on Chubasov, and then he will still be an RFA by the time that contract expires. So that's a good thing. As far as Evan Bouchard goes, he's already 23. So unless we only give him like a 2 or 3 year contract, then he's still going to be expensive. He wants a 5-year deal. So I think we just give him the deal he wants here. I think that's a decent offer for him. He's a really good defenseman. And yes, he will be getting paid way more than Miro Heiskanen, which doesn't make sense because Heiskanen is a freaking awesome defender for just $5.5 million. Yeah, unfortunately, we do have other guys expiring here fairly soon. I hate looking down the road at contracts. It's just scary. Okay, so maybe we do 3 years at 7.2 for Bouchard. That's, shorter term contracts might prove to be really helpful here. I think we just give Rudolph Schutz exactly what he wants here. Keep the morale up a little bit. Okay, so that in total was, we went 11, I guess was that 11.5 for Chubasov? I think. 11.5 plus the 7 plus, who else? Shoots was 5.7, wasn't he? And then, yeah, that's pretty much all the contracts we have to offer right there. Like, that is not good because we still have unsigned players in here. Crap. Okay. So let's advance, see what happens here. By the looks of it, Chubasov re-signed. A bunch of the scouts re-sign. Bouchard resigns, Chubasov shoots. Okay, so those are our main pieces, but by the looks of it, we might end up having to build new pieces around these guys because we only have $3 million left in cap space. So that leaves us with the decision of either Marody or, I mean, Benson we can give an RFA deal to, but Yurcho's gone by the looks of it. Mantha's gone. Who else? Those guys are not key players compared to the guys further up here. Yeah, that's big money to offer a lot of guys. Heiskanen's easily the best contract on our team still, but yeah, that's rough. Okay. Shoots is way too expensive. I should have gone for the 5.5 for like 2 years or something like that. Yamamoto's still going to be good, but there's a little less depth there now in our team, so it's tough. It's tough for sure. So I think what we're going to do is Tyler Benson is wanting $3 million for a year. We're going to qualify him just for now because, I mean, we don't exactly have contracts that are like terrible, but we do have some slightly more expensive contracts than other teams. I want Kassian to re-sign. I think he's a crucial piece to this team. So I don't know how this is going to work. I don't think we're going to be able to sign Marody and Kassian. Oh, okay. So yeah, Cooper Marody's asking for way more money than he probably should be, but we'll offer it to him. I don't like that deal, but we might just end up trading him, doing something like that. We'll go 1.6 for 1 year on Kassian, see if he accepts that or not. And then that's about it. Like, that'll be it for the contracts. We'll let Nuge go, unfortunately. For whatever reason, our AHL assistant coaches don't want to sign here. Like, okay, you do you. And we don't have enough cap to sign Kassian. Yeah. Shoot. Okay, so this is now the point where we need to find a trade for Koskinen or something along those lines. And then we'll go back and sign Kassian. Because as of right now, that $3.3 million is taking up a decent amount of cap that we really don't have the space for anymore. We're going to sign Andronov here as well just because he's a starter and he's got some value. So yeah, we are going to have to make some changes here. Just a quick trade here or there to land guys like Kassian and, what's his name? Oh, our roster's full. Okay, so we have to get rid of a player or two, that kind of thing. How is this going to work? Honestly, I kind of want to move Rodrigue, but we can't. Same thing with Bednar. He's not. We'll release him. How much does it cost to buy him out? Yeah, no, we're not doing that. We'll just wait until free agency. Unfortunately, Andronov is going to walk here probably. I mean, he is only a 5'11" goalie. He's not like Jan Bednar or anything like that, but yeesh, okay. I think we got this under control still. So we're going to trade Koskinen the second we hit free agency. Nuge, unfortunately, is going to be walking simply because we don't have enough money for that 8.5 a year. And we do have to go hire new AHL head and associate coaches. So let's go to an AHL head coach here, like honestly, just offer like 2 or 3 of these guys a contract and then move on. One of them should sign. I believe Webb was the guy who wasn't signing with our team, which is, you know, funny enough because the Condors have still been a decent team overall. But whatever. We'll just get a couple contracts out here, and all right, that should be good enough. As far as the trade block goes, Koskinen should be on there still. Benson's up there, but we're not looking to trade him because he's actually cheaper than that contract states. I can't believe Chubasov's such a good player for such a cheap deal. Like, I'm really impressed with him. By the looks of it, McLeod wants to jump into the NHL here next season, which I am totally okay with because he is a good player. Okay, so yeah, we just need to find a trade for Koskinen at this point. Okay, so our deal for Koskinen here, I don't know who wants him, but we will find somewhere for Koskinen to go because we still want to go back and sign guys like Cassian or different players along those lines. Okay, so if we can go Koskinen, even though like literally nobody wants him, I will trade you Koskinen for like a 5th round pick. Like, that's literally what his value is right now. 5th round pick is too much. What about a 6th? Okay, so we have to give up a pick in order to get rid of Koskinen. Yikes, man. Yikes. Okay. So by the looks of it, we've got about $4 million in cap now. So that should give us the ability to sign Cassian and Benson here. And if we look at the, you know, overall kind of progress reports here, I mean, obviously our centers are the most stacked in the league. There's no question there, but guys get moved over to the wings because of that. Yeah, we are seriously in need of wingers right now. So Cassian would be a huge signing to bring in, as well as, what's his name? Oh, I've just forgotten his name. Cassian as well as Benson to bring him back in. Those would be 2 very nice signings. And then, you know, the team will take shape around that once we get those 2 guys back in. I do want Zach Cassian back. I don't care if he's 32 years old or whatever it said. Oh, McKinnon's up for... Look at that. Jeez. This is a big draft class here. Or not draft class, signing class. Like, holy crap. Okay. By the looks of it, Nuge is going to end up on either LA, Columbus, or Anaheim. Okay. That's, yeah. Columbus would be the best kind of spot, in my opinion, for him, because then he's not playing against us all the time. So we want to go for Benson, but he is $3.3 million. Yeah, he wants a lot of money. Okay, so maybe we just wait a bit here. Yeah, I think we're going to have to wait a bit here. Shoot, okay, so... we're looking for that, like, kind of under $1 million range for a player. So, yeah, Zach Cassian's honestly perfect. He fits where we need him to. We'll give him the exact contract he wants. And then, besides that, we're not in a great spot right now. We could definitely use some better wingers, but Benson is kind of the only option we have here. So maybe, like, what do we have for defensive options to move? Like, we don't, really. We have, like, we've kept our defensive core together quite well for decent prices every time. Like, yeah, if we look at the defense here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, okay, so we're paying Larson way too much money then. Or maybe Clefbaum. We could move Clefbaum. As much as I hate to say that, that might be our most feasible option here. Just because it's the right, left. You know how it works with pairings. Yeah, shoot. And McLeod's a 6'4" two-way defender who's going to be in the NHL next season, don't get me wrong. Shoot. Okay, that was where I made the mistake, was signing one too many of these guys. We could have let Larson walk. That would have probably been our best option, but now we got to trade. So I think our best option here is to move Larson because of how expensive he is, and then maybe we could even bring in one more winger, that kind of thing. So who wants Adam Larson? Because unfortunately we have to move him here. Actually, wait. Oh, let me think here. Let me think, because somebody's going to fit better here with Lindholm. It's either Larson or Clefbaum. Fits really well with Lindholm on the chemistry system, and I cannot remember who it is that fits that well. Like, Lindholm is, there's no question, he's the, like, he's a second pairing defender. He's really good where he is, but see, we don't have the... shoot. See, it's like we move one, we have to move both of them most likely. And yeah. I think you keep Lindholm, and even though Larson is really good with Clefbaum, we have to move him. Like, we have to make some kind of change here, unfortunately. I think that's a fair deal right there, Larson for a first. And then we can sign Benson and possibly one other winger. Done deal. I know, I'm sorry, Clefbaum. I didn't want to do that, but we had to. So, yeah, now we got a little more cap space. We're going to go for that $3 million or $3.5 million, whatever it is, for... Oh, damn, we're close to signing Hopkins there, but just it'd be too much of a hassle to try and clear up that extra space. So I think instead, actually, these guys are all asking for a ton of money. Okay, so we're going down to Benson, who's honestly a really good deal there for under $3.5 million for the next 3 years. I will easily take that. So we do that plus Cassian's deal totals to right around $5 million. So we have another $2.5 million to go out and get one more winger. James Neal, well, that's way too much money. So for 2.5, like, a guy like Burakovsky would be sick. There's a couple options here. Even go out and get, no, Etanyos is too expensive. Nyquist is old, unfortunately, even though he's a sniper. Okay, maybe we just advance for now, see how the contracts play out, and then go from there, because we might not even be able to sign a bunch of these guys. So let's see. We get a coach there. Other coaches reject, and we get the associate coach. Okay, so our coaches are good for the AHL, thank God. I'm not taking that deal. That's not good enough. We need the wingers. And Webb says no. Yeah, all these other guys are going to reject because I already filled out their spots. Cassian signs, Benson signs. That's good. Okay, that's what we like to see. And then we should have $2 to $2.5 million left in contract space. We have 3.9. Okay, that's way better than I thought. 5 teams are after our NH now. Jeez. Okay, so who do we want to go for here as a forward? We need a winger. I'm not exactly sure which wing and what position, so let me go just sort that out quickly here with the lines and how things are going to play out, and then I will figure out who we're signing in free agency. Not going to ask. Okay, guys, so by the looks of it, we still actually need 2 more wingers, just the way I've counted everything out and the way players are going to be sitting. So we're looking for right around $2 million a player, and obviously these guys are way too expensive up here. So we're looking for the $2 million contracts, even if they're just like 80, 81 rated players. Dickinson would be nice, but there's a lot of guys that could potentially be really good signings in here. A guy like Timashov, that looks like a really good contract. I don't know how well he's going to fit our system, but at 82 rated and just 26 years old, Timashov's definitely one to look into. Maybe even a guy like Adam Ernie as well, because he's 28, but he's got that medium 6 potential, which could be huge. So I think we're going to offer Adam Ernie a deal for the 2 years, and then we're going to offer Timashov a deal. Even though he says he's a low 9, he's 82 rated somehow. So, worst case scenario is we can trade him. But those are the 2 guys that I'm going for right now, just to fill out our third line, because those guys will most likely be playing alongside Marcus Nold. Yeah, that's the way it's going to work out here. So, the rest of the team, I think we're going to keep Draisaitl, McDavid, Yamamoto together, as well as, okay, so Ernie signs, Timashov signs. That should be good. Because now if we look at all the depth systems, obviously Draisaitl and McDavid are going to be together, but if you look at the rest of the centers, you're going to have McDavid first line, Chubasov second line, Nold third line, and then Marody fourth line. That's a sick center setup for sure. On this wing, yeah, things are a little bit different than they look here. So we'll probably have Schutz and Benson playing same line. I actually want to change Rudolph Schutz. Since he's a power forward, I want to get him on the inside hand shot there, so we're going to change him to a right winger. And then Timashov versus Ernie. I think we might do the same thing with Adam Ernie as well. But that means Timashov, so we're going to have Draisaitl on the left wing, obviously. Then you're going to have Benson second line, Timashov third line, and Nygaard fourth line. That means that Schutz and Ernie both move over to the right wing, which leaves Cassian first line, Schutz second line, just like we did last year, and then Ernie third line, Cassian fourth line. So that should be good for that. We're going to have all these guys up to Glenn McLeod playing in the NHL, and then our goalies are going to go Stuart Skinner and Carter Hart. So now we just got to get to the actual next season here, sim through the rest of this offseason, and, you know, we're not really going to make any trades. So I'll be back with you guys when the lines are all getting ready to set up here. So, starting the next season, 97% of our tickets are sold, and yeah, this team's going to be awesome. They're going to be really fun to play with for sure. So, owner goals is going to be to win the cup again for the 4th year in a row, finish first in our division, have at least 6. Okay, they want us to have 6 home playoff games. I feel like we've done that every season here for the last 2 or 3. For the last 3, for sure. But here are the lines. So, they put Chubasov first line, which doesn't work so well for the chemistry. If we go like that, there we go. I am happy with these lines, man, for sure. Like, they might not look super strong, but they are freaking good still. Like, this is... I couldn't have asked for a much better setup than this, considering how many players we lost and how things have gone. Things are looking real good still. Samorukov should not be in there. It should definitely be McLeod. Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of why the chemistry's messed up right now. So let's try McLeod over here. And not as bad, but still not great. So both those guys, both those guys don't fit. Shoot. Okay, so that's not so great. What do we do here? We make trades? Do we do things like that? Because I think that might be our only option here, really. Like, Broberg is also a pinch and cycle. Lagesson is a balanced and cycle. Pinch and balance might be better there on Oosterley. So the other thing I'm noticing here, guys, is that the AHL is quite short on defense right now. We really don't have any defenders. So we'll have to go out and pick up another defenseman or two. I guess we're just throwing someone in this defensive spot for now, because that's what they did before. So, yeah, that's not great, but we will get to work on that. Same thing here with this setup. Unfortunately, even though McLeod's a really good player, man, like, that just sucks that he does not fit the system versus guys like Heiskanen and Bouchard do. Yeah, like, those guys are just so good together. Yeah, I don't know what to do here, so we will figure this out pretty quick, but the other problem is Ethan Bear is really... he's probably too good a defenseman to send down to the AHL. So that means we need somebody who has a balanced shoot scheme fit, whether that be none of those guys. Oh my, this is not good. Not at all. Okay, so Persons at least balances everything out there. If we go like that, no. Crap. Okay, so what we need to go out and get is a left-handed defenseman that can play a balanced shoot style, because that's exactly what we need in this team right now. We will end up sending either Glenn McLeod, or we're probably going to send McLeod back down to the AHL, just because there's nowhere else for him to go at this point. And as far as editing the captains go, obviously Chubasov is getting an A after his most recent performances. And besides that, everything's looking all right. It's not like great, but it's close. We're really close to getting everything solved here. So, all right, so what we are looking for is around an 80 rated defenseman who can pretty much, all they do is just play defensive hockey and not get paid a ton of money for it. Vikinen, oh, it says he'd fit defensive pairing 3 there, so we could try to trade for him, but if he doesn't turn out, that becomes really frustrating first off. And then, okay, we can't go for a guy like Carlo, he's too much. What about Zboril? Possibly. Apparently there's no scheme fit there, so let's try. How do you even say that? It's Vikinainen? I don't know. Something along those lines. Vikinainen, I think, is how you pronounce it. But we cannot really give up defense here in exchange. So who are skaters that match their trade block that we could potentially give up? A guy like Keeping, maybe. That's actually overpayment, because Keeping's got some decent value left on him. So, as far as goalies matching, we could send them Jan Bednar, because he's really not turning out for us. And they reject that. Okay. Maybe we throw in like a 5th rounder on that deal too. There we go. Okay, so we're going to try Vikinainen and see if he actually fits in the team. Going to make some roster moves here, because I'm pretty sure Vikinainen's down in the AHL right now. But, maybe not. Did he stay up with the Oilers? If he did, then that means we send a guy like McLeod down. Maybe even like Joel Pearsons. And nobody took either of those guys, so we're good there. Let's go to edit lines. And it should just be, yeah, that one spot. So I'm hoping Vikanainen can really fit in here with this team, please. Okay, so that's better. He's got balanced play style. So that, I guess that'll work, but I mean, those guys are going to be prone to getting scored on a bit, so I can't believe Vikanainen went that early. Yikes, okay, whatever. We got two solid defensemen here doing their thing, even if they don't fit the system so well. I think they'll still be all right. What if we... Oh, see, I made the mistake of sending Samorukov, or not sending Samorukov down, and instead sending Pearsons down, and Pearsons is actually the one who fits our team better here, so let's try Joel Pearsons back up into the NHL, and then try Samorukov down. There's no waivers there, so we're good. Okay, so if Pearsons fits better, then we actually clear up more cap space if we move Ethan Bear. Even though, yes, our defense is not as strong as it was last year, it's still solid. And, yeah, see, we get +1 chemistry there. As much as you hate to see it, we might have to move Ethan Bear out of the system here just because he doesn't fit. And in exchange, we can pick up some other players that will play depth for our team and can do that kind of thing. So yeah, as much as you hate to see it, an Edmonton prospect here in Ethan Bear does unfortunately kind of need to get headed towards the door, just because of the way everything fits here. So he doesn't hold that much value either, which is not great. So can we get some like depth forwards, like some 79, 80 rated guys here? I'm looking for cheaper kind of guys too, so like Troy Terry would be awesome. I just picked him up in the other series there. Or like Max Jones. Max Jones is kind of expensive, but you know, might still be a decent pickup. So we could go Ethan Bear and what else? Because we do have to move some other piece here. Mason Nueve is already 70 rated. Maybe we go with Shannon Schumacher here. Try that. I think that'll go through. That's a good deal for Anaheim, to be honest. But yeah, 2 Edmonton prospects here. I mean, you say prospects. He's already 26 years old. But Ethan Bear and Shannon Schumacher. Schumacher has not grown for the Oilers or for the Condors at all. Versus guys like Terry and Jones are going to stand a better chance of actually making the NHL lineup. You really rejected that? Okay. I thought for sure that was going through. So, second rounder in there? Like, that's got to get accepted, yeah. Okay, so let's go to Assistant GM's best roster. And then we will adjust things from there. So, why are you throwing McDavid and Chubasov on the same line? Like, I know that's tempting, but it just doesn't work with the chemistry. And why is Troy Terry playing over Marcus Knoll dropped off 2 ratings from that one trade? Like, come on. Come on, I don't appreciate that. That's not okay. But yeah, I mean, the system fit here is pretty solid now on this team. I'm quite happy with it, actually. But, you know, I kind of want Cassian playing there instead. But, you know, Max Jones is still a good player in his own right. Is he a 2-way forward as well? No, he's a power forward, so I keep him on the right wing again. Is See, and then we got a guy like Troy Terry, who I don't entirely know what to do with there. How does he fit on the third line? Or the fourth line, sorry. And he fits, so I think we're going to keep the lineup like this and go from there. We got two really good players here to sub in as Cassian and Marody. You know, I'll make sure to change them throughout the season next year so they still get playtime. Might not be as much playtime, but it'll still work. Unfortunately, Bouchard changes ratings there from the trades, so yeah, that's a little difficult sometimes, but it happens. That top pairing is so good though still. Like I can't get over how good they are. But I'm really happy with how this team is looking. And I think the Oilers stand a really good chance at going 4 cups in a row here. That's a possibility. I mean, it's going to take some work for sure, but I believe this team is still capable of that. So yeah, this team's looking good for sure. There's lots of good players in the AHL as well, getting good chemistry boosts and things along those lines. We could go Samaru Cub on the bottom pairing there, just to get the additional chemistry. We have way too many left-handed defensemen there. But anyways, that is how the team is looking, guys. I'm seriously impressed with it. We did have to make a couple tweaks here on trades, but like we got 3 90, actually we have more than 3. We have 4, almost 5 90+ rated players on this team, which, you know, makes us a formidable lineup against whoever we're playing. Doesn't help that Carter Hart kind of dropped off. I mean, if you look at his seasons and how they went, I mean, he played more games, had more wins, but had a worse save percentage and a higher goals against average. That is probably why his rating kind of dropped a bit, so can't totally blame him. But he had 3 assists as well. That's funny. Okay, anyways, so this team still looks really good. I'm happy with how it's looking, and I think we're ready to kick some more butt here as the Oilers. So if you guys are enjoying this series so far, then go down below, leave a like on the video. Also, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I'm posting, you know, pretty much daily content here between the Oilers Franchise Mode and the Tigers, and you know, even the Journeyman series. But that is going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Etanyos signing out, and see ya!